Hi, I'm Mark Imperial, host of 3 business talk shows on Chicago radio, and I'm also a writer for Dan Kennedy's No BS marketing letter for the column titled Grow Your Local Business. And the reason I'm excited to be with you today on this video is I'm going to share with you a business insight that I think is the most important business insight when it comes to growing your business and taking it to the next level. And it's about messaging. Let me ask you one question. Could a simple change in a message mean the difference between struggle and success? Mean the difference between losing millions of dollars or becoming worth $1 billion and one of the fastest growing brands in the world? Well, I'm going to share with you one case study that did exactly that. One change in their message, which I could describe to you in one single word actually, meant the difference between this company limping along for almost 10 years, losing millions of dollars, to today becoming one of the fastest growing brands in the world, worth brand value of over $1 billion. Now, I can describe that switch. They flipped a switch in their messaging, and I can describe that switch in one single word. And I'll do that in just a moment. But what I want to share with you right now on this video is about flipping your switch in your business and taking a look at your messaging. Maybe you're doing okay. If you're doing well, but you know you can do better and take your business to the next level. Or maybe you've been struggling for a while, quite not sure what it is that you're missing to resonate with your market. Why aren't leads and business and customers coming in like a flood? Why is that? Could you be missing one tiny small switch in your messaging? Well, that's what this video is all about. Because I'm going to tell you what, when you change and when you fix your messaging, you will fix your business, period. Now, I'm talking about messaging because that's where it all starts. In fact, you can't do anything without the proper message to the world. If you're spending dollars on advertising and just awareness campaigns on letting people know that, hey, here I am and we exist, you're wasting dollars because likely there are other competitors in your marketplace. People in the world, your consumer, are looking for the one thing. What's the uniqueness? What's the one thing that I want to do business with this company for over and above anybody else in their category? What's that one thing? So we're talking about standing out, being seen as one of a kind, being seen as the obvious expert, the overt choice in your marketplace. Do you have that position? Do you want to gain that position? That's what this is all about. You might hear this, Jack Trout called this positioning originally. You might hear people discuss this as USP, Rosser Reeves, as unique selling proposition. You might hear it as uniqueness. Well, I'll tell you, it is a DNA for your business. It's being one of a kind, and it's about being the overt market leader in your area and in your expertise. So that's what this workshop that I'm going to be having is going to be all about. Now let me share with you that one word difference. The company that you may or may not be familiar with is the UFC, also known as the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I've been a big fan. I bought their very first pay-per-view event in 1993. They entered the market with a very unique proposition at the time, which goes to show you that uniqueness and the DNA of the brand can change, and it should change in some cases. But in this case, for the UFC, they entered the market in a very interesting time. At the time, martial arts and fighting has never been quite challenged. There have been movies that were coming out at the time were all about the kumite and which martial art was most superior. So they entered the conversation in the market's mind at the time with who can beat who, which martial art can beat which other martial art. And quite frankly, it was fine for the time being. The problem with the message was it sent out a message of violence. And quite frankly, it was a blood sport. People would say, hey, two men enter a cage, one's going to come out, implying that the other would be brutalized. So in essence, it was a message of violence. So over time, of course, when the newness wore off, all that happened was the media, politicians picked up on the brutality. Senator John McCain had called it human cockfighting, and it became very negative. It was a message of violence. Well, around 2002, the company was struggling to such the point that the founder said, you know what, no more, I want to get off this ride. So it was purchased for a mere $2 million after all of that time in struggling and losing. Now the new owners, what did they do to that business that took it from that struggle to almost obscurity? Not many people even followed this. I went to the live events. The stadium was half empty, not half full. Okay, so what was the difference? And here's the one-word switch. And they demonstrated it in many ways, and in a lot of ways that I'm going to show you how you can flip that switch in your business and demonstrate it in your marketplace. But what they did, the one-word change, is they went from turning it from a spectacle into a sport. Spectacle to sport. That's exactly what it was. And it's been well documented and demonstrated, but I think that is a really great extreme example of how somebody with a simple change in their messaging can take a business from struggle to not just a little bit of success, but being offered over $1 billion for the brand in brand value. So that's what this upcoming workshop is all about. I believe, and I truly believe, this is the most important part of your business. Before you do anything else, before you write a single ad, before you pay for any space, display, email, marketing, messaging, whatsoever, you have to have your uniqueness DNA. And that's the theme of this upcoming workshop. What is your uniqueness DNA? How can you become one of a kind in your marketplace? And how can you stand out head and shoulders above the rest, regardless of how many competitors are in your marketplace? There's a way to do it. And what's unique about this workshop is it's not just going to show you what to do and give you the concepts. We're going to give you the exact exercises to go through, and we're going to go through it with you during the workshop, so you leave there with a clear picture of your uniqueness DNA. So the details for the upcoming workshop are on this page. Space is going to be limited because I keep small workshops. I don't do mega conferences or anything like that. I like the small intimacy of the group, and I like to be able to collaborate with you in person in the workshop. So read the details for the upcoming workshop on this page, and I encourage you to register right away as space is limited. Now, if for any reason you feel that you're not quite sure if this is for you, or you want to challenge the messaging that's in your business today, simply reach out to me, and I'll be happy to have myself or one of my business advisors chat with you for a brief moment just to determine if this workshop is indeed for you. So it's Mark Imperial encouraging you to join us for Uniqueness DNA. And we'll talk to you real soon. Take care.